Welcome back as we continue to go through my prospect rankings here at the midway point of the college football season. We're going to be doing the safety class. We did cornerbacks yesterday. Now we wrap up the defensive backs. But later today, I'm going to be doing an NFL mock draft. Kind of nice, a little, how would you say, an appetizer for next week, because we're going to do a 7-round mock draft, and that's going to be holy moly, y'all are going to learn a lot of names. But what's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up. Enjoy the content as always. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. We will be having our watch-along on Saturday. I'm pretty sure we're going to do the Ohio State-Penn State game, but yeah, y'all see it come up, so you know what we're doing there. Let's go ahead and get into this, starting with Jammie Robinson. Also, quick disclaimer on a few guys that didn't make the list, because I have them coming returning to college this season, is RJ Moden. I think he needs another year of season, but I love what he is as an athlete at his size. Jalen Catalon, just injuries have really derailed him. He's got another year of eligibility. I feel like he will return. And then Malachi Moore, who's had a bit up and down season. He's dealt with nagging back injuries. So those three guys aren't on the list. But if you want to check them out, I talked about them in my preseason safety rankings. So if you're like, oh, but I really want to know about those prospects, go check that out. And let's go ahead and get into Jammie Robinson. I feel bad that I used all this time not talking about Jammie Robinson. But Jammie Robinson out of Florida State, listen, with this safety class, taking those names out, it's not that girthy. It's not. It's going to be, honestly, I only got 4 guys as top 75 prospects at this point. And a lot more of those guys are late 3rd round and right here, maybe that 4th or 5th round. But Robinson's a pretty darn good prospect. He was former a 3-star recruit from the 2019 class, and as a freshman, this is when he was playing at South Carolina. He played in all 12 games with 3 starts, made the SEC all-freshman team, and then in 2020, he played and started all 10 games, but then decided to transfer to Florida State after the season. 2021, made 11 starts in 12 games, and this year, he's started every game, and he's been looking pretty darn good. He is a very good athlete who can just plant his foot and go. I like the change of direction ability that he has, and it gives him a good center fielder type potential. He shows also good short area quicks to stick in the slot as well. He pursues with good closing speed, and he will throw caution to the wind when he tries to deliver a hit. So throwing that body at it, but despite, just throwing his body at ball carriers, he's still a pretty good tackler for his size. And I mean, he's got good girth at 203, pretty decent. He trusts his eyes more. He's trusted his eyes more this season, and it's resulted in him disrupting the catch point a lot better. So that's all good. But he did play a lot of slot early in his career. 2022 is really the only time we've actually seen him play safety, like traditional safety, and it's been good for the most part. He does lack ideal size, but he's not far from it. But the length ain't great, I will say that. Winning off coverage, he gives cushion, and it can be a bit too reserved and conservative, letting receivers get behind him in that part. So he plays a little bit too much underneath, and I think part of that just stems from playing in the slot a lot. Part of that could also be route recognition, or just not completely trusting what he's seeing. So maybe a guy you want to play a bit more close to the line of scrimmage, even if he does have that center fielder speed. That's like, ooh, he's a guy that more so likes to play what's in front of him than rather anticipating what's behind him. He also got a bit handsy in the slot over the course of his career, could be prone to penalties in the NFL. But overall, man, solid prospect. Got an early day 3 grade on him. Next, we go to DEMANI Richardson out of Texas A&M, and this is just a do-good safety, like straight up, just a do-good safety, formerly a 4-star recruit from the 2019 class. Missed his entire season year with an undisclosed injury, but he started from the get-go at safety for the Aggies in 2020. He ended up missing 2 games because of the Rona and also nagging knee injury, but played the rest. Again, started from the get-go at the safety position. He finished the season but had to get knee surgery prior to the 2021 season, so there's a few injury red flags when it comes to the knee, but overall, not too worried. Unless that undisclosed injury his freshman season was actually the same knee, then I would be concerned. But again, since we don't know what that is, probably won't know more until combine medical checks and whatnot. Out here again as a starter, and this dude's a very I would say instinctive safety. He's able to read and react very quickly. He shows good short area burst to influence the quarterback's timing. He is probably there at A&M, he's the one in charge of assignments and responsibilities on the back end, which, I mean, going back to 2021, that was a top coverage unit. This year, they're still a pretty solid coverage unit, not top 20, but still they're pretty darn good. The Aggies, they're a heavy zone team, so if you're picking up Richardson, you hopefully want to play a lot of zone. He likes to stick back and kind of watch the play unfold in front of him, and I like his length and his activeness in the run game. He has a good frame. He's been a sure tackler throughout his career. Has that under 10%, which usually is kind of rare for defensive backs. Now, the dude's just not a high-end athlete. Like, he doesn't have elite athleticism. He's shown to struggle in man coverage. There are times tight ends get the best of him. And overall, he just lacks splash plays over the course of his career. So probably a guy that's going to be a box in the NFL or a split high that you kind of want to dip closer to the line of scrimmage. But again, just a do-good safety in DEMANI Richardson. Next on the list is J.L. Skinner. We continue to talk about these box-only options, or at least this one is like box-only, period. Got a 4th-round grade on him. He's kind of a tweener. If you couldn't tell at his size, he's basically honestly, he's built like a dime linebacker. But dude was formerly a 3-star recruit, 2019 class. Didn't just play safety in high school, but also played wide receiver, where the dude just went off his senior year, over 1,000 all-purpose yards, 11 TDs. Also played basketball, track and field in high school. His freshman year, he made 1 start at safety in the finale, and then from there on out, he was the starter at safety for the Broncos. This dude, he hits like a brick, man. Literally, it's like a brick through a windshield. That's how he leaves ball carriers broken. Broken and shattered. And he brings that length to just clog passing lanes. He does a good job of tracking the football and tracking what's going on in the backfield. He shows good closing speed, and his length just means he's alive anytime he's around the catch point. That's literally been the case his whole career, and honestly possesses that enforcer mentality that the NFL just loves and could jump on even as high as day 2, and that's why some people have him in that day 2 variety. But again, he's a box guy. And there's just I would say there's just not a lot of it's just not a highly valued position in today's NFL. You don't have rare range. He doesn't have ideal movement skills. He's not a fluid athlete. He is a bit stiff in the hips, and he doesn't explode off his back pedal. Part of that, his back pedal is a bit high. I mean, he's tall too, so that kind of factors into why his back pedal looks so high. But I mean, the dude he's an improved tackler. And again, we're talking about a tweener, looking at his size and his athletic skill set. And we're talking about a tweener guy that's somewhere between linebacker and safety. So it's just like, however you feel about that, if you feel that can fit to your offense, I don't know. I like him better day 3 than I do day 2, in my personal opinion. And then we have Brandon Joseph, a guy that I just love Brandon Joseph, man. I really do. He's a cat that honestly I have a little bit of a bias for, because honestly, after in that 2020 season, the shortened season, the dude picked off 6 passes. He was a first team All Big Ten because he used to play at Northwestern, and the dude was just so good there playing along with oh my gosh, I can't remember the other corner for Northwestern. I'm just blanking on his name. Shoot, I can't even. He plays for the Browns now. Oh, it's slowly coming to me. You know what? Just tell me in the comment section below. We ain't got time for this. We got to talk about a lot of guys here. But the dude was just so good. He showed insane range. Like, I was like, man, this guy is so rangy. And then 2021 was just a bit of a letdown. But then I got excited. He was like, I'm going to transfer to Notre Dame. And I was like, oh, man, we saw Kyle Phillips make himself a first-round safety there at Notre Dame, dude, under Coach Armstrong. Oh, man, maybe Brandon Joseph could do the same, because in 2021, I was, by the end of the year, I was like, this guy might be a top 75 pick at best. And nah, it's kind of about the same, dude. He's probably going to hover in that 70 to 80 range for me. But I mean, the NFL's going to love this dude's versatility, man. This guy plays in the box, plays in the slot, he plays deep. He does it all, man. He's probably capable of playing outside quarter as well at his size. He really is, man. And like, he's got the ability to mirror NFL wide receivers. He has oily hips. I love the range, and he consistently finds himself in the right place at the right time, or at least he used to. At this point, man, it's just like he's just not around the ball a lot, which kind of makes me sad. But in terms of what he does in run defense, he's a fluid mover and he navigates traffic pretty well. He has some nice bursts and closing speed downhill. And while he plays the run well, he just lacks the bulk to do that consistently. As you can see, his career missed tackle rate hovers around 20%. His explosiveness, it's not elite out of his breaks, but like, again, he gets that top end speed, dude, and he flies. And it's just right now the production is just not there for him, you know, and it's really sad. A guy that's actually capable of returning as well, but I feel like at this point, after 2 years, after coming off the hype, and then just 2 years of just very similar play, it's like, you are what you are, man. Just go ahead, come out, make your money. You're probably going to be a late day 2, early day 3 guy. So I'm kind of like at that point with Brandon Joseph. There we go. And it just makes me a little sad. Next, we got QUINDELL Johnson, who I talked about in my stock report video this past week. This guy is just playing good football. This is a guy that honestly could sneak into the top 75 pick. I imagine he's going to be at the Senior Bowl. Dude was a former 3-star recruit in the 2018 class, redshirt the freshman year. Saw a good, healthy bit of snaps as a rotation player in 2019, and basically he's been kind of a starter ever since 2020. And this dude has just got a very well-rounded game, boasts some good change of direction, nice greasy hips, great closing speed. He showcases the ball skills constantly, as over the course of his career he has 15 pass breakups, 9 interceptions. As a run defender, he takes great angles. He's a sure tackler, and the tackling's only gotten better this year. He shows a lot of versatility and really can play anywhere from in the box, slot, deep. The guy can do it. He's more instinctive though than he's more instinctive. Like, sometimes he's more reactive than proactive in coverage, and he gets caught having to play from behind early on in plays sometimes. His hips can open a bit prematurely, and he gets turned around, which ain't good. If the guy fakes you out and then he's going underneath, then you've already conceded a lot of ground to him, and now you got to make that up just to make the tackle. I wouldn't say he's got like high end, like he's got good explosiveness, but it's not like, again, it's not elite. It borders on high end. But again, a guy that just has a nose for the football, flies everywhere. Big fan of this cat. On to Jair Brown out of Penn State, a guy that's legit fringe top 75 for me. He's been having a really good year for Penn State. Now that he takes the leadership role there from Jaquan Brisker, who left last season. He is a fifth-year senior because he was a 3-star recruit out of junior college in 2020. He spent those first 2 years, 2018 and 2019, at Lackawanna Community College. Sounds sick. I love it. Then he actually joined Penn State in the 2020 season, where he played in 9 games, but became the full-time starter in 2021, where he played next to Brisker, and he was tied for the lead in interceptions in 2021. Used the extra year of eligibility to return. So again, a 5th-year guy, not an actual redshirt. Used the extra year for from the Rona, but this guy's a ball hawk. Legit, he's a ball hawk. He anticipates passing routes and concepts. Just jumps them. Just jumps him. So he will be hardly caught out of position to make a play, and he flashes those ball skills. Again, some of those did come from tip passes. It was a bit more opportunistic, and it just kind of fell in his hands. But he has shown a nose for the football. It's not all just luck with him. He understands route concepts, and he has the explosiveness and the short area quickness to make plays underneath. He has that big hitter mentality, and he often does a good job of tackling guys out in space. He is more explosive than fast, so he gets to his top speed quick, though I don't think his top speed is relatively impressive. Doesn't really have that center fielder range, similar to Brisker in that regard. We still saw Brisker go pretty darn high. He's more of this split high box option. I love the hit stick mentality, but it has led to a lot of whiffs and missed tackles. And we kind of saw that in the Michigan game where I forgot who caught it underneath, and he's got this guy on the sideline, and he like stops to go make the big hit, and the guy just changes direction, cuts inside back towards the field on him, and legitimately looked like it broke Brown's ankles. It was gnarly. Now, I do have questions about the length, and if he could consistently contest the catch point against larger, more physical receivers. But overall, man, this guy's play, his nose for the football, his ability to play everything underneath, I love it. Love it. Now let's get to these top 75 guys. I have Jordan Battle next on the list here. And if you're around here for me in last year's draft, you know I love Battle. This dude's former 4-star recruit, 2019 class. He basically worked his way into the starting lineup as a freshman there at Alabama and became a starter in 2020. He's been the starter ever since. Honestly, could have came out. There were rumors that he wasn't given a high projection, and that's why he returned, which kind of surprised me. I thought he was kind of a shoe-in for the second round. At this point, I see him as a midday 2 pick in a much more talented class, not even necessarily at the safety position, but at other positions such as quarterback and running back. It's just there's more talent in like defensive interior. There's more talent I would say generally in this class than there was last season. So he does see himself kind of fall a little bit. But I love this dude's combination of strength and explosiveness. He imposes his physicality every play, legitimately strikes fear into anyone who wants to catch the ball over the middle of the field because he's a bit of a headhunter. We'll get into that in a little bit, but I love how he plays man coverage. He seems like a fluid athlete in that regard. He plays with great speed, explodes downhill, plays with good balance, navigates through traffic well in the run game. He's showcased ball skills prior to this season. Is only 1 pass breakup this year, but we've seen it in the past. However, the biggest weakness is, honestly, this guy's just so overly aggressive as a tackler. Like he's like a safety from a time back yonder, where these safeties could be headhunters. But now that's a targeting call for you. You got to watch out. You got to lower your strike zone from up here to a bit lower. He's been thrown from multiple games for targeting, so can't be doing that. He just, and also that like wanted to lay the lumber type of style, I think could lead to more forced missed tackles in the NFL. He can be a bit smoother in his transition, especially when it comes to having to guard more speedier pass catchers. So there is that. He usually does lose the initial step in coverage, so people could question his range at the NFL level. They could be like, okay, that's fine in college, but how's that going to contend against NFL athletes? Because keep in mind, NFL, it's legitimately the best from college football. So we'll see. Big fan of Battle's game. Now let's get to the top 3 here, starting with Christopher Smith. Got him as a top 50 prospect, former 4-star recruit from the 2018 class. He was recruited as a corner initially, and also competed in the 100 meter in high school as a freshman. Moved to safety, didn't receive significant playing time. However, in 2019, he played in all 14 games, mainly on special teams and part of the kickoff unit. 2020, he played in all 10 games, started in the last 5. 2021, got to be the starter all the way through. Did miss 3 games that year with a shoulder injury. Decided to use that extra year of eligibility from the Rona to return. And honestly, I think it's kind of made him this top 50, top 75 pick, man. He's really made an argument for himself because this dude is so explosive underneath, coming downhill, closes quickly on ball carries, and potential pass catchers or receivers. He has improved how he reads and reacts to routes underneath, and he flashes a good nose for the football. He reads the quarterback's eyes like nothing. He hits the trigger the moment the quarterback goes for that windup. He's gone, dude. It's nice. He packs a lot of power in that frame, and you love the pop on contact. He wants to just lay out guys. He's a smooth athlete in that regard. He can be a bit clunky when turning and going, but he's kind of got that track background, that straight line speed. This dude's flying once he gets to top speed, tracks the ball well in air. Could be a legit playmaker if you want to put him in the center fielder, though the NFL is going to more too high, so that kind of works for him. Now, he wants to be a big hitter. However, that has led to him being inconsistent as a finisher, and it's not been detrimental yet, but it's something that can be in the NFL. When in pursuit of ball carriers, he doesn't always take the best angles and will overshoot or overrun the play. He can be a bit quicker to read and react over the top, but that's something he's gotten better at least in terms of this year. He has the speed to make up ground when he gets going, but it's different. But there's a difference between like jarring the ball out of receivers versus getting my hand up there to make a play on the ball. So we're really looking at more so a guy that is a bit late to the catch point, and he'll contest the catch point by laying the hit stick. This isn't a guy necessarily always getting his hands up there to make a play, but he's having a good year. Big fan. No, now these are my first rounders. Antonio Johnson here, got him listed as a first rounder, former 4-star recruit from the 2020 class, played 7 games with 1 start in the slot as a freshman, started every game in the slot in 2021. Now he's playing a bit more of a traditional safety role here in 2022. Great frame, super long, just explodes downhill, shows insane closing speed. He's legitimately can do it all, box player. In terms of, he's a do-it-all box player. Like, he can blitz, he can stop the run. His missed tackle rate under 10%. You like to see that from your defensive backs. Rock receivers underneath, too easy for him. He's got good build, great burst, and the hustle is just magnificent from him. The biggest question was, could he make that transition to safety? And I think he's done it at a solid level. He may not be the most fluent guy in terms of coming out of his back pedal, but I think it's fine enough. And off coverage, there are times he can get turned around too early, but again, those are kind of few and far between. The big thing for me is just the lack of splash plays over the course of his career. There, again, that's something that's like few and far between him making splash plays in coverage, but a guy I feel good enough to take at the back end of the first round. And then my top guy, you probably guessed it, Brian Branch out of Alabama. I love this cat. I'm willing to take him in the top 20 there. I said it. What you gonna do about it? This dude, 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class as a freshman, mainly played on special teams, but did see a bit of a rotation role there, and even made 3 starts during his freshman year. He played a big role in 2021, seeing 624 snaps with 7 starts, and then he split time at the star role in 2021 with Malachi Moore. Now this guy's your starter every game, probably outside of Will Anderson. I would say there's a lot of talent on that Bama defense. He's among the top players after Will Anderson. I think there's a good argument to be made. He is the second best player out there. Though there are a lot of good up-and-coming guys on that Bama defense as well. But I love this dude's fearless play style. Like, from the run game to the pass game, he wants to make a big play every play, and he has a legit nose for the football. There are, like, legit, like, there's no hesitation. When it's time to put your foot down and go, he does that. He accelerates into contact. He has this willingness to throw, again, caution to the wind, and throw his body around, and he is probably the best tackling safety in this class. And you look at that size and you might not think that, but this guy is definitely a sure tackler. He packs a lot of power in that frame. I love the short area quicks, and he has the ball skills you want from the position. As you might look and be like, oh, 4 pass breakups, that's all right. But I mean, prior to this season, he had 9 pass breakups, 2 interceptions. He also shows good patience as a blitzer. So you can see 5 pressures this year. And honestly, man, this dude has all the tools you would want from a safety standpoint, man. I just love it. Now, he does primarily play a lot in the slot for Bama. So his like traditional safety snaps, it's not a ton, but I think it's enough for me to be like, oh yeah, nah, this guy's got the tools. I've seen it enough on tape when he is playing more of a traditional safety role, and I like it. He can be a bit stiff out of his transitions, but a lot of that's from a high back pedal. This guy likes to stand tall when he's backpedaling, and honestly, that's kind of that's an easy fix in the NFL. If anything, it's his high risk, high reward mentality. Sometimes he finds himself out of position a bit early, having to catch up on plays. Fun thing is, he's got the ability to do that. So I just love this cat. He's a very good prospect, but you let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.